So, here's the thing. I had a whole schedule set up. Oh, by the way, hi, Jason, here for Motion and Shit, blah, blah, blah. I had a whole topic set up, right? And the topic was going to be some blah, blah, blah stuff. Shit is going to come next week, all right? Because while I was sitting here driving, I was thinking about, I was listening to Jim Jeffries, who is a hilarious comedian, very inappropriate. And he was talking about why he has like a stage manager to gather the fairs and things like that. And actually one of my good friends is like a marketing person. Like she runs a marketing company. She makes a ton of money. She's great. She's doing great. Fantastic. But they just brought up the idea to me that, you know, what's the purpose of these managing companies? And they come with strategies, they advertise for you, all that good stuff. And I realized something. I am good at advertising and marketing everything but my fucking self. I can't do it. Why? Because I just... Let me explain, right? So, I do freelance work, right? So I do different things for different people. Like I've helped set up a porn studio for somebody. I run a porn account. Social media is for people. And it is part-time great and part-time, or not part-time, part great, part fucking terrible. Because I'm bad with social media, right? I'm so bad. It's because I grew up poor. I grew up poor so I didn't have any money. I didn't have any money, so I didn't have any things. So like when a lot of people start off with like flip phones, Nokia, stuff like that, I had none of that because I was poor until I was like 20. I'm just saying. And so social media kind of blew past me. Like MySpace, I had MySpace for like a day, and then I was like, "What is this?" And I just didn't. I just moved on. I was like, "Yeah, I don't get it. I don't want it. I'm good." While other people, they lived on it. They learned how to build websites, all that stuff, and they learn how to build websites and then never fucking use it again because fumbling the bag. But anyway. I didn't have that. I didn't have Black Planet. I didn't have anything. I missed out on Facebook for the first, 6 years of it existing, if not longer. I've heard that Facebook started like 2005, 6. I'm not gonna do research because I don't really care. Let's just say I started in 2012, 2013. Did not use it at freaking all for a very, very, very long time. Like I just used it once every 3 or 4 months. Because at the time my girlfriend was like, "You should use it so we can tag her in pictures and show off." Because I was like, is this what people do with social media? They just jack themselves off. Like, they just love to do stuff for other people to see them so they can glorify themselves. And the answer is, yes, that's exactly what the point of social media is. It's to be full of yourself and be congratulated. It's to pat yourself on the back and others to pat with you. So I say all this to explain why this episode is titled, or it's going to be somewhere around the ballpark of being titled, Why I Suck at Social Media, and you. Because you see, here's the thing. I'm very bad at social media. I have all the social media platforms I have millions of accounts, like dozens of accounts. I don't know why I said millions. I have my own personal Twitter. Let me break it down for you. I got my own personal Twitter, my podcast Twitter, my author Twitter, and my porn Twitter, and then I have my porn advertisement Twitter that I use for business purposes. So there's 5. I have my regular Facebook, which a bunch of groups I use it just to promote some of my other business endeavors, like my nerd channel and stuff like that. I have an Instagram for myself and one for each one of my shows, like my podcasts. And yeah, that's it. I'm just kidding. I have actually other things that I don't care to mention because I don't ever use them. I don't open them. I have a Snapchat for my show and myself. I have never, in my entire natural life, made a snap. Not one. I look at people's, but I don't care. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I get what, do people not realize that Snap is just for porn? That's basically what it's for. People are, oh no, it's show off and show your friends, blah, blah, blah. If you want to show your friends stuff, why would you make it disappear? You're just showing off, it's ridiculous. I get it's more than porn. I understand that. People like to say their ideas and they disappear because they don't want to use it against them later, or it's a stupid thing they do and they're like, I want my friends to know for the next 24 hours. And then, of course, porn, what like a lot of people use it for, the normal people. And I'm not downplaying Snapchat for that. I'm not cracking a joke at Snapchat, meaning that it's like a lesser program or a lesser platform, because it's not. I know business associates who use Snapchat to make money with premium snaps, because here's the thing. Sex sells. It just does. Some of our best episodes have been about sex. And I know from running 2 OnlyFans accounts for business, freelance work, remember, people will pay to see stuff like that. They'll pay to see ass, titties, and, vagina lips. They will. They'll pay top dollar. I set up like a strategy for somebody about 6 months ago where they laid it out. They sold certain article clothing and stuff off of there. Like they previewed me wearing it. Not me, but them wearing it and then selling it to people, because that's a market too. People love to have used underwear. Like I don't get it, but I'll cash the checks. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've seen people do that. They'll buy this crap, and I don't know what they do with it. Do they sniff it? Do they frame it on the wall? Whatever, doesn't matter. Whatever, but they'll do that. People I know have made hundreds of dollars a week doing this. It is a legitimate business endeavor. They use Snapchat for that. I mean, I know that people use it for goofy stuff. Like my lady uses it for goofy stuff. But baby, you should check her inbox. Like thirsty people. That's why I have this opinion of it. It's thirsty people. They're just like, yo, you want to trade nudes? And I love her expression that she always says this. She was like, why would I want to trade nudes with you? You think that I'm going to send you pictures of me naked so you can send me a below average penis shot? Because he's like, it's very rare that I get good penis shots on Snapchat. That's why they're on Snapchat, because they disappear. And I was like, and I asked her to explain that one day. And she said that with Facebook, she'll get good dick pics because they know it's not going to go away. With Snapchat, you can embarrass yourself and send a small or unflattering dick pic, and it's gone. And you can deny it unless they, save it, because apparently there's a feature where you can save things. And like they're just gonna be saved. Like you can clear the conversation, but if they start chatting with you, it'll just like pop back up, which is great. The whole appeal of the site is because it's supposed to be like, yo, no paper trail. But then they add the feature where there's a paper trail. This is the best. That's the best. That's actually an absolute plus that I love. But again, I guess it might just be a societal thing where, like, I know a lot of people who are into that kind of stuff, but it's just not for me. You know what I mean? And I don't judge people, trust me. The amount of weird shit that I'm into, I don't judge no fucking body. I always look at Snapchat, honestly, I'll just be honest with you, is I call it the platform for medium to high level porn. The reason I say that is you can get very personal pornography. The reason I say medium to high, because it used to be my high until I discovered the OnlyFans thing, and that's high quality right there, man. You're not going to find better amateur pornography and one-on-one connection type consumer to, producer streamlined than OnlyFans. You're just not. You're really not. Because I learned this thing called customs, where you can actually make custom pornography scenes that you can, and they don't have to be porn per se, but custom scenes that the OnlyFans actors can do for you. And it's wild. You can pay like a couple $100 and they'll act out any scene you want. It's like having your own, like, you ever watch parody porn? It's like having one of those, except for you wrote it. And thousands of people see it, because there's a whole business built on it. I've been explaining this a lot, but like it'll get uploaded to different platforms. Like it'll get uploaded to mini-vids, where they sell videos individually. Like you can buy a whole hour-long thing for like $5-6, like renting a movie, except for you own it now. They got that, OnlyFans, Pornhub, porn.com, stuff like that. Because I've definitely watched a couple customs that a few of my friends have let me see, and it's high quality. Like they will spend the money, they will design costumes. I mean, obviously you got to pay the bill on those, but the fact you can make something that custom to your liking. Can you imagine being a kid when you were growing up? I know I shouldn't have said kid, but let's be real. As far as the dudes are who watch porn as kids, it is what it is. But can you imagine being a kid? I'm gonna stop saying kid. Imagine being a teenager and like wanting to watch porn, and you see your favorite porn star, and we all had a couple favorites. Can you imagine combining multiple favorites in one scene? Because I definitely can, because I remember whenever they did crossover, I flipped my fucking shit. Like, I had my favorite dude and my favorite chick, and whenever they were in a scene together, which is very rare because of the type of subgenres they did, I lost my shit. Imagine you get a connection with one of these people. Like me, it's Miss London. Miss London is the best OnlyFans model, like, to me. Well, maybe the girl Baby It's Me. She might edge her out. But whatever. Imagine doing a scene together with somebody or whatever. That would be amazing. I'd pay top dollar for that. I don't even pay for stuff like that. But I'd pay like 20, 30, 40 bucks for that. Why? Because I'm bad with my money and I want to support independent businesses. And that is what it is, an independent business. That's my story. That's why I'm sticking to it. Okay, I'm sounding bad when I say that, but legitimately it is a business thing. Being on the other end, on the business model, construction, and marketing, and stuff like that, it is a legitimate business. I'm not trying to downplay it, but I just had to make that joke because I'm a horrible human being who can't take anything seriously. Anyway, getting up Instagram, I don't fucking get Instagram. I don't. Anybody who tries to contact me with some freelance work on Instagram, I tell them, nah, man, can't help you. It ain't for me. I don't get it. I don't understand the metric system. I have a better chance understanding YouTube, and nobody understands YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, fuck all. Who the hell uses YouTube Community? Like, who the hell? That shit is just something that I skip over when I go to YouTube. Like, oh, which thing should we do next? And vote whatever. Be a regular fucking person, put it on Twitter where everybody already is. Don't YouTube, don't make that a thing. Nobody cares. I'm still mad at YouTube for canceling Google Hangouts. Or I'm sorry, canceling the recording feature. The only thing that I really cared about that stupid Hangout thing. Buggy ass shit. Anyway. But no. Again, I'm not trying to download that's whatever. And then I want to get this one thing. It's the big thing that people always argue over. What's better, Twitter or Facebook? I have one of my good friends who exclusively uses Facebook, and I have a good friend that exclusively uses Twitter. And I have to be in both because business. Anyway, and I will have to tell you, they're both awful for two completely different reasons. Facebook is awful because it is exclusively echo chambers. An echo chamber, for the people who do not know, is where your opinion is shot back at you, amplified. So if you like the color blue, you can surround yourself with people who also like the color blue. Now, in my Facebook profile, I try to get with people who I don't agree with just as much as people I agree with. So it's a nice mixture. That just means that I piss off people while also getting patted on the back all the time. I get yelled at and patted on the back simultaneously. It's just what it is. I got into 3 Facebook arguments today. So it is just what it is. But I enjoy it because I feel like I have a deep connection with these people on some level. Because a lot of the people, I don't really add new people on Facebook. It's people I've had for years. So I've seen the stuff they're willing to show other people. Because don't get it twisted. Whatever you show on Facebook is, like all the rest of them, just what you want to show people. Like, if I were to make a scale of what's the most honest, as much shit as I'm giving Snapchat, it might be the most honest platform because people are allowed to just be themselves because it'll disappear. They're allowed to be more honest. And I think that's kind of a cool little feature. Instagram is all propped and poked and all that stuff, so it's super fake. It's the exact opposite spectrum. Facebook, people like to create their image, show their happiest moments, their angriest moments. They create stuff like that, and you can't believe any of that. Like, I know I'm pretty decently, no, that's a lie. On Facebook, I'm generally just trying to make jokes because I'm an awful human being, and sometimes that awfulness seeps through, and I can't do nothing about it, But yeah, I try to keep mine diverse, even though I piss people off all the damn time. But that being said, Twitter has been the most interesting because I joined Twitter 2011, 12, 13, something like that. And I didn't care. I was just like, what is this? You just yell into the void and wait for people to respond to you. Yes, that's exactly what it is. You can either with Twitter you can either build a following by either being kind, which will take you a very long time, being famous, which doesn't take you any time at all, or doing a bunch of hot takes to piss people off and they just follow you. Like, the goal of Twitter, if you are controversial enough, you'll just gain a following. That's ridiculous. Some people say, oh, if you're insightful, you'll gain a following. Yeah, here's the thing. Hot takes go viral. Insightfulness does not. It's just what it is. And if it does, it's not at the same percentage that the other thing is. Like, it's just not. It's what it is. So I'm like, I make hot takes, but as jokes. These people will make a hot take specifically to piss people off, and it's kind of lame. I gotta be honest. A lot of things that people deem as hot takes are just lame. And if I was really to look at it, people on Facebook are trying to be cool by being funny. People on Twitter are trying to be cool by being against the curve. You know what it is? Facebook people are like those kids who try to be the class clown but aren't funny. Twitter is basically that guy, the prep kid, who thinks he's the coolest person in class and everything they say is a hot take. Because let me tell you, these people on here are so annoying. Like, Twitter drains my soul. It does. I just go on there for memes and to see what my cool, like, down-to-earth people on there are talking about. Some of these people who won't be named are just garbage people. They just say things to make people mad. And then when people get mad about it, other people will say, oh, you're getting mad. Twitter's a cesspool. It's just awful. It's just because what it is just people jacking off and everyone hearing them jack off and either applaud them or talk down at them. It's so stupid. Like, I get on there to watch this stuff because honestly, I get a lot of my material from just like, not from Twitter, but from the ridiculousness of Twitter. Twitter is a clown rodeo. Like, it really is. The loudest, most idiotic person gets the most attention. I mean, to be honest, not trying to be political here, but we elected one of Twitter's finest trolls to be the president of the United States. That's got to say something about the platform. I mean, he spends a lot of time on Twitter because he feels at home. It's the only platform he feels at home at. Yeah, but Twitter's just about you just jacking yourself off and then, people applauding you. That's all it freaking is. And that's fine. That's fine. We need to platform that. Like, Facebook was teetering on that for a long time, but then people just like, Twitter became like an old person place for a long time, and now it's just like people who don't care about hot takes, So now Twitter is the place where Facebook was the place for like grumpy old people. Now Twitter is the place for grumpy young people. So yeah, that's interesting, I guess. Again, I'm not trying to crap on Twitter because Twitter has its purposes. Twitter serves its own thing. It's for people to express their opinions, to yell in a void and hope it yells back, all that great stuff. But in the grand scheme of things, don't nobody care what their opinion is. Like, I want the fact that there are Twitter threads that are about applauding people for doing good things, and they just they don't get as much traction as the other ones. It's crazy to me. And you know what the wildest thing about this whole thing is? When I say the echo chambers, Twitter has echo chambers, but it's not the same way as Facebook. Facebook, you can design it to where only your people see your things. And I know Twitter's changing that now, but Twitter's not like that. Twitter's like, I could say, you know what? I love this movie. And 100 strangers will tell you why you're an idiot for liking that movie. It's the equivalent of showing up to high school with no pants on or dirty clothes and people yelling at you for wearing dirty clothes. Twitter is just, when it comes down to it, it's a cesspool of awful fucking people who are applauded for being awful fucking people. And You would think that's my place because I'm an old person, but it's just annoying. It's just bad. You know what I mean? But it's fine. It's cool because, like I said earlier, people get paid to get watched where they jack off. Twitter's just another way like that because you can make money off Twitter too. That's not a coincidence. I'm just saying. And I'm not trying to lift Facebook above it because Facebook is not above it. It's not that much above it. It's adjacent in its awfulness. It's a different flavor of awful. Your family get to be mean to you and share pictures of you. The people that you know intimately can yell at you. It's basically, yeah, that. And on Twitter, stranger can yell at you. And it's weird because, like, I was trying, like this week, I called a social justice warrior because because I said, I don't think you know the definition of that word. And then I printed the definition for this person trying to explain like a rational human being. But then I remembered it's the internet. And they were like, oh, you social justice warriors trying to change whatever. If any of you have ever met me, a social justice warrior is the last thing that I am. Let's just be honest. I'm not trying to be one of those edgy comedian people. But I can tell you off top, conservatives don't like me. And liberals don't like me neither. Because I'm offensive to everyone. Because I have a philosophy about life. If it makes you laugh, it's good. It doesn't matter what it is, or what was said, or what context. If it gets you to chuckle, it's good. And that's not okay. like, for example, right? I don't particularly like making jokes about people's religious status because I find that religiousness is a sacred thing for a lot of people. So I don't make those religious jokes unless I know you're cool. Then I'm letting them fly, baby. Oh, man, I got a lot of good 7 Day Vince jokes. They're great. On the flip, I will make y'all don't understand the awful jokes that I will make. They're bad. Like, my girlfriend has been with me for years, and she's like, and she told me the other day, you're going to hell. And I said, probably. I told her, if we end up in the same place, one of two things happen. Either God made a mistake, or you really fucked up. And she was like, why'd you choose different wording for that and saying God, effed up? I was like, because I already think that I'm going to hell. I'm not trying to submit it. I'm not trying to get it in pen. Right now it's in pencil. Right now my hell ticket is punched in pencil. I don't want it edged with a permanent marker in ink. You know what I mean? Like, I've done, listen, I've committed most of the 10 commandments. All right. I haven't killed nobody, but other than that, I've done the rest of them. Yeah, I've done the rest of them. Lust after people's wives and whatever. Yeah, I've definitely coveted people's wives. Because not like I'm going to steal them, just so y'all know. But I will definitely look and comment because I'm awful. But nah, Liz, he called me a social justice warrior. I died laughing. Like, what? Who, me? Man, listen. I'm a fucking pig. I am an awful pig. I'm just being honest. I will empower people right after I insult them. I've told my friend last week, I said, you know what? I'm proud of you because you got your life together. You have steady employment. You have a check that comes regularly. I am proud of you. But you know what I'm most proud of about you? And she looked at me and she said, what, best friend? And I said, your booty got bigger. I can fit it in my hand now. Can I touch it? And she was not okay with that. She told me that I was an asshole. And then I told her, I don't really like ass play. But, I'll ask my girl if she's into that. And you can join us for, some sex. And she was not okay with that. She said, no. And my name's not Harvey Weinstein or, any of those people. So I just like, all right, cool. And I promptly went home and I just thought about it while I masturbated because that's what you do. When guys go home, we masturbate to our friends because they're hot. Or the ones that are hot. I like to think girls do the same thing. And, that thought is an inside thought. And I definitely told it to her. And she's like, could you not? I was like, oh, please. People do it all the time. I'm pretty sure my girls thought about you masturbating. Or masturbated to you. Both those things. I fucked it up, but both those things. And now this is going to be on social media. Luckily, I was given a bit of advice today. And that advice is you can never dishonor your family if they never hear the jokes. That was advice was given to me when I said, how should I censor myself on my podcast if I should? And that advice was given to me. And I said, you know what? You're right. Because all the people that'll be ashamed of hearing this will never hear this. Because in the course of these years doing this, I've said some awful, horrible, weird fucking shit. I literally have described an orgy that we had planned out a long time ago and just never did it. And you know why we didn't do this? Because for the orgy to go through, we need to have 3 men. And we just had me and a bunch of bitches, which is totally cool to me, but it wasn't cool to the girls. And when I say bitches, I don't mean no derogatory term. I'm using the actual verbiage that the girl said. She said, there are too many, quote unquote, bitches. And she said, I'm cool with going down the girl, but I ain't trying to do that all night. Why would I want to do that? I want some sticks. I said, what? She said, I want some sticks with this putty. Because apparently that's a new terminology, putty. I learned so much. But, nah, I'm just saying, like, again, the whole point of this thing, to bring it about in time before I go home, is that social media is there for you to enjoy. Don't take that shit seriously. Unless you're doing a business. And then you have to take it seriously. And that ruins it. Trust me. Because I have to, in one of my gigs, I have to pretend to be 2 black women. I don't fucking know how Tyler Perry does it. I really don't. Because that shit is impossible. I pretend to be 2 black women who are sleeping with the same dude. But not together. I don't know why that was a thing, because I don't know why, but that is a big thing. They want to make sure that we're fucking the same dude, but we're not together with each other. And I was like, what? You know what? Your Cash App thing went through, so I just gotta shut up, you know. I just gotta shut up, man. At the end of the year, that 1099 hit, and you know, that balance says you paid me this much. I'm gonna look at it and be like, well, they get what they pay for. But I always give people advice. Like, if you really are into social media, everyone is a different flavor. If you like to just be completely brutally honest with people that you know, or strangers, you can add strangers in, but you don't want them to hold against you again in the future, get Snapchat. If you want people to see what you're doing everyday life, because, you know, you might be a little bit self-absorbed, Instagram. If you want to share a bunch of memes and have group communities, whatever, and be surrounded by toxicity, because it's what it is, toxicity and angry people, you got Facebook. Just remember to block your parents and anyone who respects you. And don't say anything crazy, because for some reason nowadays, social media, when people try to either cancel you or get you fired from your job, they go to Facebook first and then Twitter second. If you want to just interact with actors and famous people and hope they either don't block you or yell at you or use you as an example, because that happens a lot. That's my biggest fear, that I'll say something ridiculous on Twitter and then I'll go viral and then people will cancel me, because I make it very, very fucking easy for them to cancel me, because I'm really fucking offensive. Not on here. I try to dial it back here. But on my anonymous personal accounts, I'm very fucking offensive. Because it's funny. I share really bad stuff. I'm just saying, honestly. Because I'm morbid. That's what I am. I'm fucking morbid. That's just what it is. Because I've always had a dark sense of humor. And that doesn't translate well. You just seem like an awful person, which I am also. But, yeah. Other than that, I don't use Kick. I try to get into Reddit. Reddit's scary because I hear such horror stories every time I go in there. It's like a weird place, but I got to get into it because I got a gig coming up in a few months where I got to get into it. I got to market on Reddit, so that's what I'm going to be learning next. So, yay. But yeah, on that note, I am your host, Jason. Please follow us on every social media account that you can think of. ENS Podcast. We are on any audio platform you can possibly think of. I have to shill for my friend Haven real quick. Please follow us on Snapchat, Instagram, all that stuff. It's HAEVYN_RHY. Oh, wow. Wow. That's not how you spell it. REYHNE. I used to get it down perfectly. But yeah, Haven Rain, all that stuff. The flip back, and once again, remember, we're Emotions and Shh podcast. Again, all links down the bottom. Love you. Goodbye.